I feel you. I had a half day today, and it was wonderful.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes half days are even better than just taking a full day off because you at least feel somewhat accomplished. Though
Oh
you
yeah.
usually you still have to get up early. So
I gotta get up early even on my days off, man. I mean, feeding time is fucking feeding time, and it's that's feeding time,
right,
and
yeah, no,
yeah.
my two cats are like, no, bitch, you're getting up and you're feeding us. And
Well, you notice they also cats especially they get real active just before feeding time. They're kind of going through the hunt, even if they're just playing or running
yeah,
around or grab assing. But they're I mean, that's part of their thing. I mean, they've taught themselves that their bodies are like, well, this is the time when food is available, so get the fuck up and get going.
right,
And
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
so
My little black and white one, she is relentless, and she will come in and she'll meow and she'll meow. And one of the things that she does, which I think is really funny, we don't own a dog, and there's other than the Chihuahua next door. There, it's not like she's witnessed a dog, but she
right.
will come in and she will jump and plant her front feet, and she will do a wolf howl at the ceiling. And she'll
That's
do that
funny.
like on my chest, trying to get me up.
Yeah.
And the first time she ever did it, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where did you learn that? She just figured that out on
Well,
her own.
well, I've got an orange tabby that'll play fetch. He's he's the most bully animal of the house, I guess. Um, yeah, probably. But he's definitely a very dog-like cat.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but
Yeah, Tassie, the little black and white one. I mean, I taught her. We got her. I mean, she was tiny, like she would fit in the palm of my hand. And
right.
from the time that we got her, she was only 8 weeks old. I started leash training her, and so she tells me I want to go out for a walk, and
All right.
so yeah, I take her out on her leash.
Every blue moon, I will take a cat out on the porch and let it stand on the railing.
Yeah,
You know, uh, if 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 the fleas are kind of going on, the flea combs really really come in handy on keeping them thinned out.
yeah,
I mean, I don't give a shit what you put on the cat or what you spray around the house. Once they come and they set in, and it's time to start fighting them off. Uh, it don't they don't instantly go away. I
right,
mean,
right.
I mean, I've got squirrels that literally crawl on my fucking front porch, and squirrels are. If you've got squirrels close by, you've got fleas. I don't give a shit whether you got a pet or not.
It's true.
They might not move in and take over your house, but there's a flea or two there.
God, the old apartment, the one that I lived in before this one, the back porch was basically a marsh. They didn't do the
Ooh,
drainage properly, and it
skeeters.
well, both mosquitoes and fleas. Like
Yeah.
about shit, April through uh May, we would start seeing them show up. And then by the middle of summer, man, you would walk out. If you were wearing shorts and you walk out on the back porch to barbecue or something, you could feel the fleas jumping off of you. I mean, they
Oh
would jump
yeah.
from the grass and just bounce off your legs. It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not miss that apartment. That and the fact that that whole place was like living in a demilitarized zone.
Man, when me and my girl first started seeing each other, we stuck away from our kids and met in this abandoned house, and and there was the people had moved out of the house, but they had had a fucking cat in there, and so the fleas had stayed and bred there for like 3 months with nothing to eat.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah, we got our asses kicked that night, but we had fun. Getting naked in the abandoned house, doing our crazy shit that we was doing. You know, I was a lot younger back then. It was a different time.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, I think of some of the shit I used to get to 10 years ago, and I was like, God, 10 years shouldn't be that long, but I feel like that was like 30 years ago. I feel like I was that much younger 10 years ago.
Yeah. I think about half the adventures in life for guys and girls are centered around trying to get naked with somebody, or the
Oh,
possibility
completely.
of getting naked with somebody. Or
Did you ever see? Did you ever see the Futurama episode where the whole "Don't date robots" episode? And
no, I hadn't
they
seen it.
they go into this historical perspective that everything that humans do is to get laid. That the whole reason that little Jimmy, when he became of age, went out and got a job, at the burger stand was so that he could make enough money to ask out Betsy and take her on a date in the hopes that he would eventually somehow get laid. That's
Yeah.
the whole reason we do anything.
Well, reproduction is an important part of a species.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Hello, Glenn.
Hello.
What is tonight's dinner?
Burgers, French fries, and frozen custard.
Nice.
I splurge on Friday nights and have ice cream.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's on my acceptable list, but I don't care.
My wife and I are both diabetic, but she's way worse than I am because my diabetes didn't pop up until like 5 or 6 years ago, but she's had hers, pretty much since adolescence, and so hers is really difficult to manage. And we went out for burgers and fries last night, and she comes home, and man, like her blood sugar spiked up to like 275.
Oh God!
Mine. So when we left, mine was getting a little low. I was like down to 74, and
Wow.
we eat, and I come back, and the highest mine was like 129. She's like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. I can eat whatever the fuck I want, and my woman, she can't. And so she gets jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she can't eat ice cream, but she's in denial about that shit.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, I'll eat ice cream and I'm cool, but if she eats ice cream, oh, she's gonna have a bad time.
I know people that are lactose intolerant that still do the ice cream.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's the problem right there.
We
Yeah,
like to
yeah,
call those
she's-
people masochists.
They're like, it doesn't matter. It's ice cream. I'm making it work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's happening one way or the other.
I guess if I'm eating ice cream, it's got to be fried ice cream. It'd be at a Mexican joint.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think I've tried that.
It's good.
It's very good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's
It's
got like
pretty good.
cinnamon and sugar and a batter that they put the ice cream in, and then they drop it in the fryer and then take it immediately right out. And
Well,
it
the
just
cheap
hard.
Mexican restaurants use cornflakes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this
Just
is Arkansas.
different
You can get
cornflakes
anything
and fry
fried here, man. I mean, at our state fair, man, they'll fry Twinkies, Oreos,
Yep.
deep fried butter.
Yeah,
What
we.
the fuck?
I
ever,
mean,
man.
we got an air fryer. It's obviously healthier for us, but we had we still have a deep fryer that we never use anymore. And I mean, when we first got it, was a wedding present, and
Yeah.
I mean, I deep fried everything. I deep fried some Twinkies. I deep fried a
Yes.
Snickers bar.
Damn right.
Deep fried pickles are really good.
Anything can be fried. It's
That's right.
even at my favorite sushi bar, I can get fried cheesecake.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it is wonderful.
Haven't tried that.
That could be good.
It is good. It is good. Yes.
One
It
of
is-
the sushi items that my local sushi bar does that is so amazing is they will take a acetylene torch and they will just blacken a slice of salmon and then put it on the rice and oh my
yeah.
god, it's so good. So good. So Gabe said he's going to be just a little bit late.
Okay.
But we'll go ahead and get started without him. And
Okay.
oddly enough, and I'm not sure why this happened, but I lost our initiative order.
That really sucks because I rocked it.
Are we in combat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
You guys are.
they
dying.
are. So yeah, some shit happened.
Jack and I had fun killing animals.
No,
Yeah.
Sarda's with us, so Sarda needs to be put on the map.
Oh, that's
and
right.
play
Yeah, that's
combat,
right.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you are. Maybe that's what I don't remember getting rid of this, but I suppose anything's possible.
You switched maps.
That's
Switch to the hunter map.
that
and then you
that
came back
could be
here and-
that could be what has happened. Yeah.
What's the situation and what type of armor would I likely be wearing?
Everything. Just say everything.
We were
So-
all right. We went on the town and we, mingled and mangled. We were
Well,
looking at
All the museums and all the opera houses, and
Yeah, perfect.
then
Yeah,
and then they
what?
went out for something to drink.
Well, we were headed to the bar, and then somebody pulled a suicide vest in the bar, and so I've gone in and I'm rendering aid. George is watching the door. You're probably out there watching the door. There's some of these
Well,
clones.
I
and
will give a recap. So
Okay.
George is getting shot. George is-
Sorry for not listening to the YouTube. I should have.
no, you're good.
That's okay, man. You take a -2 all night and just call it even.
So
But you get a +2 for showing up. So
See me roll. I don't need a -2.
yeah, I know. I'm just fucking with you.
So interesting. So welcome to Deepnight Revelation. We'll be picking up where we left off last week, but before we get started, I would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They're just products that we really like. Tonight, we would like to thank a new one. We would like to thank Boston Scally Company. Boston Scally makes wonderful hats, scally caps. They've got flat caps, scally caps, all manner, different patterns, different materials. This that I'm wearing right now is the Sunday. It is an 8-panel scally cap, and the Sundays are a little bit more relaxed fit. Very comfortable hat. It is a wool poly blend. But they have a ton of hats. I'm sure that you will find one to your liking. They do have a 10% discount if you're new to the site and you first go into the site. You can sign up for their email newsletter, and that will get you a 10% discount to pretty much anything on their site. So check them out. If you're a fan of the channel, we have a merchandise store. We have T-shirts, and we've got a blanket that comes in 3 different sizes, anything from the baby blanket size to, I don't know, it looks like it's probably going to cover a full-size bed. It's really big. And then we've got a beer stein, and we have pins, or buttons, and this is the Pirates of Drynax flag button, and then we also have the Greenwater pirate ship logo. So yeah, if you like the channel, you want to help support it, go buy a pen or get yourself a t-shirt. 100% of the proceeds from that channel, or from that merch store, go directly back into the channel, so we appreciate anything that you can do. Speaking of stuff, the new book, The Skellis Mountains, Atlas 1 for the Braunhaven campaign setting, is now available on Drive-Thru RPG and print on demand. It comes in a premium color hard cover format. The PDF is available on Drive-Thru RPG and Big Geek Emporium, as well as all of the other books, and all of them are on sale. So And I'm actually debating. I might leave the sale up permanently. This might be their new price. So, it's kind of a big middle finger to WotC raising their prices.
That's okay. We had one of our game stores that actually is no longer going to be selling any of Wizards of the Coast stuff. They're actually
Awesome.
their stuff, and what they don't sell, they're going to donate.
Wow,
That
that's a
is
big
awesome.
decision.
That's really cool. Well, I mean, the reality is, if they were selling Magic cards, that would hurt their bottom line. But I can almost guarantee you that getting rid of the D&D books is not going to do anything to them. There is that is what we call a loss leader. You do not make money on game books.
Our local game store can get books cheaper through Amazon than she can through her distributor.
Right, and that's what I was just gonna say. I mean, Wizards of the Coast has never, despite what they say about going to your friendly local game store, it's all bullshit because WotC has fucked over the friendly local game stores for years. They put out a new release and it immediately goes to Amazon for like 2 weeks, where you can order that book off of Amazon for cheaper than what the store can get from their distributors.
Right.
And so, yeah, by the time it hits the game store, most people that are going to buy it already have the book, and the price on Amazon doesn't drop. So the store that's selling that book for $60, $70, or, well, it used to be $50, now it's going to be $60, $70. For $70, you could, in a lot of cases, buy 2 and sometimes 3 books off of Amazon. So, it's one thing to want to support your local game store. It's another thing to not get a good deal. And, when you can get 3 books for the price of 1, most people are going to vote with their wallet.
Yeah. I just went a different route with my game store. I've just started giving board games as gifts and stuff, like my son, his girlfriend had an operation. She couldn't talk.
Yeah.
So we got this board name called Boop. And you don't have to talk. You just like putting cats on a bed. It's silly or whatever. But
yeah.
they had fun. They had fun with it.
So if you want to support your local game store, the number one product that they sell that they make a ton of profit on is trading cards. Doesn't matter which ones, Magic or Pokemon, whatever they are. There's a huge profit in those. The next biggest profitable item are board games. Huge margin on board games, and everything else is pretty much in the toilet.
On dice.
Well, not anymore. I mean, it depends. Like if they're selling premium, the metal dice or the stone dice, then yes. But
I got these one set that
most
was
sets are not
sharp. The sharpest. I mean, they had a good design to them, but they were like in a little tin, almost the size of like a skull tin. But I'll dig it out and have it next time we play or whatever. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But the edges are so. I mean, the D4, you could throw that motherfucker and it'd stick in the wall.
Right. Yeah, I've got a couple of metal sets that are like
edges.
that. Like even the D20, the points on the D20 are really sharp on some of the ones I've got.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I had to force a guy to change dice. He was ruining my mat.
Right.
He had these solid metal D6s that were like an inch by inch, and then they had really sharp steel. The edges were really sharp, and so every time he'd roll them on my mat, it was actually cutting up the mat.
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
And so I was like, you can't do that, dude. You're ruining my mat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're gonna use something like that. Get your own little dice tray or something that you don't mind messing up. But
I've got a leather dice tray that I was rolling my metals in, and you can see because the entire bottom is divoted from every one of those points hitting it. It didn't cut luckily it didn't cut the leather, but it left a permanent mark. So yeah, let's get into what happened. So you guys. And this, I had nothing to do with this. This was by design by you guys. You did the thing that nobody should ever do. You split the party, and so Randolph.
Yeah, you shot me.
well, Randolph. Hey, at least you're with the doctor. Randolph and Jack went off hunting on a safari, and they went with a hunting guide and the whole bit, and they were hunting the larkers. And let me find him.
I'm not so sure that's the right word. I think they were hunting us.
hunting larpers.
They were hunting larpers, yes. So this is the Corella and larker. They are brontosaurus-like mammals. They're not lizards, but they're quite large. And they were also hunting gazelle, which are really big cow-sized pissy goats. And they bagged a couple of those, and
Just goats then.
yeah, they bagged a couple of those, and that was relatively injury free. But hunting the larkers, larkers not only are big and they have a lot of hits, they're also armored, and really, I mean, yeah, they injured him, but I think they pissed him off more than anything else. And one of the larkers went on a charge and turned their hunting guide into a blood and bone-filled sack of gelatin. He's no longer with us.
It's a bad guide.
Yes, well, you know.
Yeah, he got within 25 meters of this, within 20 meters of it, and this thing could run really fast.
Yeah. He got way too close. That was a tactical mistake on my part, and mistakes were made, and so the hunting guide is no longer with us. Meanwhile, over in the Star Town, George and Bocephus and Serta by proxy kind of milled around town, went to a bunch of museums, and Serta, off camera, had asked one of the security guards and a janitor clone, where do you guys go for a beer and a meal after work? And
Perfect,
so
exactly.
they gave him directions to a nightclub, but they were warned that this particular nightclub was a known hangout for clones. So, don't, if you're prejudiced against clones, don't go there. And these guys were like, well, we don't care. And so as they started to make their way towards the nightclub, there was a bunch of activists that were protesting outside the club, and a clone in a bulky jacket went into the club and detonated a suicide vest. And so this club right here is kind of
not really there.
Well, it's there, but it is in ruin. Bocephus has made his way inside to see what kind of medical aid he can render. George, the protesters, it didn't quite go as they had envisioned, and the protesters have drawn weapons and are. Did they actually hit George?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so George has been shot. They've just got shotguns.
Like Buster.
As far as weapons, anything, a sidearm and, a bladed weapon is fine. As far as armor goes, cloth armor is acceptable if it's not obvious. So if you're wearing like a trench coat that is actually cloth armor, that's, a green check mark. If you're wearing actual, quote unquote cloth armor, that's a negative. They're not going to be
even if
around.
I have a cool holographic display that I've custom made on it.
Yeah, probably not. It has to be not visible.
I got by with my Diplo vest, the trench coat, cloth armor thing.
I don't have the cloth armor trench coat. I just have cloth armor.
Oh,
yeah. So he looks like he's getting ready.
Shield.
So it'd be I've got that, but yeah, I don't have my ceramic armor.
You can also be inside with me if you choose to be. now. I mean,
that's probably where I would be. I can't imagine hanging out with the protesters. I would be inside if I could help it.
Yeah, we'll put you inside with Besulla. That makes sense. And I'll give you the little flag to show that you are.
yeah, I mean, now
in of doors.
I was
Now
at a
they-
bar getting drinks for
Yeah.
everybody.
well, no, we rushed up to render aid. We never actually made it inside, and
Oh,
before
gotcha.
it
Okay.
blew up. Yeah. And, I mean, I ran in and I helped a couple people, and George hung out, but I mean, he just got shot, and I remember I haven't had a chance to act since he's been shot, but I very well might go outside now that he's been shot. I don't know, but I mean, don't you have some medic skills too?
Yeah, but not. I mean, if it'll save somebody's life, I could do a medic. But
I mean, if you got
yours
medic
so much
0
better.
and you don't want to go out and fight, and you want to continue to help hurt people and look around here, you can do that. I mean, I was
Yeah.
just letting you know.
That makes sense.
I'm not going to be pissed off.
I've got a tech level 14 med kit, and I'm education's plus
Yeah.
1. And
I got a gauze pistol, and it doesn't like that 10 that you rolled.
and yeah, medic.
Are we
Oof.
redoing initiative? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and roll your
I'm not-
initiative.
I am not trained in medic.
Oh, well, then you're going to
I
suck.
I have the med kit. That's
You've got a -3 at putting on a band-aid. Oh, crap, I put it on crooked.
somebody's going first. That box car's there.
Let's do it. Here we go. Well, I've changed location in the order. Well, that is that. George, your fate rests up to you, buddy. But I'm going to come out and help you. Just know that.
Oh, I still got some. I still have a few points left.
Oh, I mean, if you even go down, I've got trauma packs. You know, I mean, I can get you up again. If you die, I can bring you back
If
to
I remember
life.
correctly, I've already killed one of these things.
You
That'd
didn't
be
kill him,
nice.
but he is bleeding profusely. I think, actually, though, you did kill... I think you did kill a couple of them. Or at least one of them. But the one that's left on the map is... he's unconscious, but he's not dead. I know that because he's got the little skull and bones.
All I know is that I'm really upset.
I don't know what's going on. I'm pissed off. So what'd you get
Guys
for...
showed up with sawed-off shotguns and didn't tell me they were coming.
What did George get for a niche?
Oh Jesus! How are we doing initiative again?
Just 2D plus either your intellect or your dexterity modifier.
Perfect.
Ooh, nice.
I
Tactics
rolled an
melee.
11 and I have +2, so
This might come into play if you got tactics melee.
Hello, Gabe. Are you with us?
I'm here.
There you are. All right, cool. Sweet. All right, so George.
No, you can't have custard.
So these two clones, I now am remembering what's going on. These two clones here, or not clones, the activists, took these two clones and are using them as body shields, which is a little weird because they're activists. But I mean, who can understand the mind of an activist? But you also have this activist behind you, George. So what would you like to do?
we're gonna turn around. We're gonna find some way I can use that building for cover, whether I'm inside. So I'm gonna do a little movement,
Okay.
and I believe I can move into there, which will get me cover from these three.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna unload both shots onto this guy right here.
Okay. Go for it.
So I'll roll the first one.
And I would say, what kind of guns are you using? Auto pistols?
Yeah, I'm using my auto pistols. like a dual wheel John Wick kind of thing?
Yeah, I would say within 3 meters, I'll give you a +1 for range.
Okay, that gives me +3 altogether because I have slug 2, -2 for shooting both weapons, and +1 from you, and +2 I'll use my. I have my dexterity as well too. So yeah, it'll give me actually +2. Sorry.
Okay.
So 7 + 2 is 9.
That's a hit with +1 to damage.
Do you want me to roll the damage before I take the second shot? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, Jesus. That's 2 damage. Well, I rolled 2 1s and a 3, and it's 3d6 -3, so that's 2 damage.
Did you include the +1?
Okay, 3
So
damage.
3 damage. Okay.
Yay. Fucker's gonna die.
Ouch, I got a splinter.
Next attack is 6 + 2, so that's 8.
That's a hit. No bonus to damage.
Oh my god. That's going to be a 6 damage.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. Okay. So yeah, you light this guy up. You wing him the first, kind of graze him with the first shot, but the second one hits home, and he is bleeding from the shoulder, but still moving around, probably reconsidering some of his life choices.
Okay, and I'm making sure I got some sort of cover there too. Okay.
Right. Yes. So you can take cover. I would say. Let's see here. Here we go.
Is this a stone building or?
It's wood. I would say it's going to give you a +6 bonus, +6 protection for bonus armor.
Okay.
All right. The clones.
Sorry, gonna stun him.
Let's see here. The clones are going to attempt to ungrapple. These two are going to attempt to ungrapple themselves. That's not too bad. An 8 versus a 4. This clone is no longer grappled, and he wants nothing to do with this. He's going to bravely run away. The next one. Okay. Yeah, he gets loose as well. As he's running away, spits on the unconscious activist and bravely runs away. Now, all the way up here, there is this clone. Oh, that's good. And down here, there is this clone. And they both alert the owners of these buildings to call the police. I mean, an explosion went off. I'm sure the cops are on their way. Yeah. I mean, you would hope. Activist. So, this activist...
Which is why I'm surprised we're shooting people, since we don't want to get arrested.
Well,
They shot first.
That's right. I mean,
that doesn't matter.
There's a
shooting gets rounded up.
there's a pretty good solid self-defense case here. I think you'll probably be okay. This guy is within his range. And these guys are using sawed-off shotguns because they were easier to conceal. He is going to make his attack.
Tell you what, you go to Mexico and there's somebody pulls a gun and you pull a gun and shoot back. You're not going back to California the next day.
Well, yeah, but Mexico is a special case. I mean,
I'm saying pretty much any country, they're not going to let you leave. They're going to insist that you stay through at least the trial. And so...
no better than just letting them shoot us.
So an 8 does hit, but George, you have that +6 to armor.
Okay, that's fine.
Da, da, da. Oh, and
My
I
coat's
rolled.
already wrecked now, so George doesn't care anymore.
So you would take a total after the armor. Well, so 6. What other armor are you wearing?
Oh, I'm covered. Just tell me how much
So it was a total of 7.
Okay, so the +6 takes away, and I leaves me with 1, which means I'm going to take another 1 off of my cloth armor.
There you go.
And I also have the subdermal armor as well, too, for 3.
Right. So you don't take anything.
Which is a lot better than the 6 I took last time.
Right. Yeah. Cover is your friend.
Yeah, you took 6 last round. You're missing 6 off your endurance. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay.
Are there people injured that are in here? So what would make me think they're a clone? Is there like a number on their forehead? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what. I mean,
in there.
oh, okay. Well, I was saying, wardrobe definitely seems to be a choice rather than.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just basically going to help people get comfortable. I'm not trained as a medic.
Okay.
So I'm if there's furniture on, helping people get somewhere safe, and yeah.
Okay. So you're helping out the wounded and kind of getting them into a position for Bocephus to be able to do something.
I mean, I do have a medic kit. It would be a straight roll. If somebody looks really, really bad, I might actually attempt to do first aid on them.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medic plus intellect or education check.
Sure. So the tech level 14, I think, is +2, right?
Yep.
Correct.
All right. Whoa, that's 6.
Well, likely it's not surgery, so you don't actually do more damage. But your your bandages are crooked; they're not quite tight enough. You're helping. Bocephus, what would you like to do?
Perform first aid on George McDuff.
Okay, so you're running to the door, and yeah, you can go ahead and make a medic plus education check.
All right.
I'm
Well,
going to complain about my jacket being full of holes.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the medic plus thing, and then I'm gonna add another +2 for my TL14 med kit, and then another 2 after that for the meta scanner that I have, because this is a subject that I'm medically familiar with.
Okay.
All right. So.
Holy
So I rolled
shit.
10. So I got 19. So that means I believe I patched that 6 up just fine.
Yeah, you did.
And I took care of your rectal problem. I fixed that hemorrhoid.
Well, that's good because that's really been bugging me the last little while. I think it might have been, Sardis cooking.
Maybe so.
Well, I wonder what my steaks are going to do for you.
You no longer have male pattern baldness. Your first aid is patched up.
Now, while I'm doing the first aid, can I hit George McDuff with a motherfucking combat drug?
I take offense to that. I'm trained in steward.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
It'd take a couple rounds for it to really kick in and get him going, but you know.
Yeah, I would say that as part of your first aid, you could pop him with a combat drug.
Fuck yeah, I'll hit him with a combat drug.
All right.
And a hallucinogen while you're at it.
So
No, we're in combat now. I don't want to add to what he's saying.
How about that alcohol hallucinations?
His new blend of combat hallucinogens.
Yeah. Do you need the
So combat drug gives George a +4 to his initiative roll. So it will kick in 3 rounds. It gives you a +4 to your initiative rolls. You gain free reaction every round, or a free reaction every round, and no penalty applied, and reduces all damage sustained by 2 points.
That's pretty acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to take 3 rounds to
George
kick
is
in.
When it wears off, you will be fatigued, though.
But I have a solution for that, George. Just before it wears off, I'm going to hit you with a stem. Now, the stem will cause 1 point of damage and but it'll reduce the fatigue. And because you get fucking 2 damage points off, I don't think you'll actually take damage.
Side effects may include constipation and diarrhea, dry mouth.
But I'm willing to go in there and dig that shit out. I've got small spoons and they can bend. It's fine.
Got all manner of tools.
Yeah, man, I've got a good med bay, buddy.
God, this is just like a night at Taco Bell. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my. Oh, Thetis.
Like a PVC pipe with a Pringles can lid stuck on the end of it. So, George, what would you do? What would you like to do now? This is counting the first round until the first of 3 rounds until your combat drug kicks in.
Do these activists get to do anything?
Oh, they did. This one shot him. That's true. These guys probably want to.
Which one shot me?
Well, first of all,
one.
George, you can make a Recon plus Intellect check.
Well, shit.
We got a 2.
That's going to be the first time I've ever failed this entire game, and I have a +5.
What did you?
I rolled snake eyes.
Holy shit!
I can't believe that.
With your bonuses, what is it? What is it, Netya?
7.
With my bonuses, it's 7.
I would say that.
Did you stick me in the ass with that combat drug, Josephus? Is that it? Now I'm all kind of.
Well, you know, I may have put the alcohol swab on one butt cheek and shot you in the other. Sorry.
Damn it.
It's kind of exciting with the gunfire going off and everything.
So, I would say, actually, I think a 7 probably passed because I don't think you're going to need higher than a 6. I think this is probably fairly routine. You can hear these sounds of sirens in the distance coming in. You don't know where they're coming from, but you can hear the sirens. And so you see this guy right here is the one that shot you. Both times. Actually,
Right.
no. This last time. The one that shot you before is bleeding out in the middle of the street. But yeah, there's this guy right here that he's like, I think 2.8 meters from you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take
You're gonna
one pistol at him, and we'll see if he's still going. And then I'll take the other pistol at the other. That's going to be a 9.
That is a hit with +1 to damage.
Yeah, and that's going to be... Oh, that's a lot better. That's going to be 11 points of damage to that guy.
Ooh, he goes down.
And the other pistol, the other shot's going to be at that guy.
The one that's already down?
He's already down.
He shot me too, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, originally, but you already put him down. He's laying in the street bleeding out.
Are there any others?
He's
Are the other
faking.
guys running away?
They're running away. One ran south down here, and then one ran to the west over here. I mean,
Well-
you can run up. I mean, you've got a minor action. You can run up to 6 meters.
Yeah, I think I'm going to head to here and take a shot at the one running away.
Okay.
And I'm going to kick this guy's. Can I do a minor action of kicking that guy's weapon away?
Yeah.
Okay. That's just an 8. 6 plus 2 is 8.
That's a hit, though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say
it's a
that
hit.
is a hit.
Oh, that's good. 11 points.
Okay, so it goes through the beam of this building, but it does hit him, and he's going to take 5 of that.
He hurts.
Can I slow him down?
Well, he got shot. He's you put some oomph in his step. The clones are continuing to run. This one's going to come over here and huddle with his buddy. This clone. Yeah, he can come over here and huddle with his buddy too. This clone is going to try to intercept he's going to be brave, and he's going to try and intercept this other activist. The one that just got shot in the ass.
All right.
Activists. Well,
Activist, activate.
yes. So this guy. Oh, this guy's dead. He just didn't make it. This guy is also dead. He bleeds out. This guy is going to have to. Well. He definitely maneuvers around the clone, or attempts to. Yeah, he has no problem maneuvering around the clone. This guy is going to use all 3 minor actions to get to there. Sarda, what are you doing?
I'm going to continue to try to help people that are wounded.
Okay, go ahead and make another medic plus education check.
Actually helps some.
That's better. You are actually making headway. You're administering first aid to some of the clones that need it.
I'll start looking for my my medic 2 card.
Yes, slot your medic 2 USB chip.
That would give me a +5 to that roll. So,
Bocephus, what are you doing?
I am going to go ahead and take a little movement here. I'm going to kind of 1 meter there, and then 4 meters can kind of get me to right about there, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that. I'm outside now, of course.
Yep.
But I am going to shoot. Oh, no, that's a clone running away. Oh, there's an activist.
Yeah, there's an activist all the way down here.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, that's well within fucking gauze pistol range.
Oh, yeah.
I should shoot at him. What I should do.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Then you can take a DNA sample.
Well, no, I didn't shoot very well.
Yeah, 5 is a definite miss. Not a
Yeah.
terrible miss, but yeah, that's
Yeah. Well,
pretty
yeah.
bad.
Whatever. I'm out there, and I'm gonna ask George if he thinks we should leave.
I think we should wait for the police though first. Otherwise, we look guilty.
So yeah, in a couple of air rafts that come over the land, one sets down here at the edge of the map. Another one, and I don't. That's a good question. I thought I had. Wow. Okay. Raft. Oh, I did have it. Perfect. Someone sits down here. One sits down here. And of course, cops spill out of these 2 air cars. And actually, third one sits down up here. And you can hear a number of other ones on the edges of this area off the map. So they kind of have this place pretty much surrounded. And the cops jump out and immediately kind of put the kibosh on this whole situation. These 2 down here are arrested and are being held at this car here. The clones are told to basically stay where they are and await questioning. Oops, that's not at all what I wanted. That's better. And the cops, of course, point them. They've got guns on you. And tell you that that you are to drop your weapons and assume the position. And they don't know about Sarda yet. None of the cops have gone into the nightclub yet. So Bocephus and George, you've got cops with guns drawn, pointed at you. They tell you to lower your weapons and put your hands behind your head.
I'm gonna comply. I mean, that's
Okay.
George is going to open fire.
Right.
George is
I'm going to put
fire.
both my weapons on the ground in front of me. I know the routine. I
Right.
was a cop, right?
You've been shot. You have blood all over your shirt.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah,
the police will
Everywhere,
recognize
and my
that.
coat's wrecked.
but he's feeling better.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great by now.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Right about now's when the
Temporary fuel is wonderful.
as George sets his guns on the ground and puts his hands behind his head. Right about then is when the combat drug kicks in.
Yeah.
His pupils get really big. So they a couple of cops in riot gear come running into the nightclub, and of course they are armed. But the situation in the nightclub is pretty much one of pure pandemonium and carnage. And they see that Sarda is attempting to give first aid to some of these poor individuals that were in the bomb blast. And so Sarda's not quite as they're not as concerned about arresting Sarda as they are wanting to find out information about what has happened, blah blah blah, which you guys don't really know a whole lot about what happened. And so you guys are in the middle of a police intervention. Meanwhile, on the hunting trip, So Jack and Randolph, you get the body of the.
I'll be right back.
Okay. You get the body of your hunting guide back to your camp, and there is a slight hike to get out of here to get back to the air raft that you came in on. I don't know if you want to carry or drag this guy's beat up body, or I don't know. You guys need to figure out how you want to go about this. I mean, maybe get back to the air raft and come back for him. It's up to you.
You're not going to get your deposit back.
Probably not.
On the air raft or on the guide?
On the guide.
on the guide.
I don't particularly feel like carrying this bloody survival blanket with
No.
body parts in it.
There's no reason to drag him. I have a little survival, so I probably won't get lost or die on the way to the air raft or back.
Yeah?
Well, I have
Unless
my
you think there's...
I have my
unless you think-
survival jack in, wafer jack in too.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking if you think you can survive the night or whatever, I'll just hike out and grab it. Grab the air raft and come back.
So you guys are going to leave the body and leave the camp and hike your way out?
Well, I was thinking I'd leave Glenn there and come back for him.
Okay.
That's I can
Otherwise
stay
you're
here
eaten
and
by
guard the
animals.
body. I can
Except
stay
for
here
you've
and guard
got
the
air
body.
raft, don't you?
We're going to break up even more.
Yeah, so it's an air raft. One of you would need to have fly or grav, or you're
Yeah.
at -3 for your roll.
Do you
I
have
have
flyer?
0.
Oh. Well, I have
No,
nothing,
you
so
can
I'd be at
take your
negative.
time and get a +2 if you take your time. Those words. You have to say those words.
Well, it
Say
depends.
that
There's some cases
And
where
I
you
have-
can't take your time, like evasive maneuvers in an air raft. You can't really take your time doing that.
But evasive maneuvers require somebody to be actually chasing them.
Usually, yes.
Do you want to
I
hike out
can go-
together then
I
and come
can
back?
hike out and get the raft.
Okay, do it.
Okay.
I'll be all right.
All right.
It's
So
It's only 2
Randolph.
kilometers. Shouldn't take more than 3 hours.
So Randolph, go ahead and Randolph, go ahead and make a survival plus endurance check.
Maybe I'll practice a little necrophilia while you're gone.
Wow.
It won't be gay. I'll make my own hole.
He's you're gonna just have to be. Well, let's see.
It doesn't sound like you need to practice as much as. That was a buddy of ours. His wife wanted to role play with us, and we were playing a GURPS modern campaign. And the game master goes, "Well, you can take over the doctor. He's a heroin addict, necrophiliac, whose current girlfriend is in a chest that nobody knows about." None of us had any information about this NPC at all. We just knew he's the doctor that worked for us. And so that was the very first character for her very first role-playing game.
Nice.
It's like, welcome to role-playing.
Yes.
So,
We're gonna
what
throw
was
you into
this?
the deep
What am I
end.
supposed to roll again?
Roll survival plus your endurance modifier.
6.
Okay, well, it's not terrible, but
If you just keep, if you go in ever widening spirals, you'll eventually get there.
Even
yes.
with your chip?
Well, I also have navigation chips, so
Well, did you have your chip in?
yeah.
That's all you got?
Well, if you've got navigation, go ahead and make a navigation roll as well. Navigation plus intellect. Well, that's a
13.
lot better. So you're not lost. You do get a little sunburned on the way out, but I mean, not anything terrible. I mean, you don't take any damage from your sunburn. It's just slightly uncomfortable. And you get to the air raft. So you are able to take off with the air raft, but to set it down at the camp, Randolph, make a flyer grav plus dexterity check.
Just
This is just a routine check.
7.
So Randolph comes back. Jack, you're at the camp for about 3 or 4 hours, and
It's an awful long time to go 2K.
right, yeah, but then you
and
hear,
I put it down over here on the other side of the river where he has to carry the corpse back.
well, yeah, I mean, the best that he can do for setting it down is he sets it down somewhere over here, and well, we can there we go. There's your air raft. So that's where Randolph sets the air raft down, and yeah, so you guys can then break camp and load up into the air raft and get back to civilization, which oddly enough is the uncivilized area where the rest of the group is currently.
We bought the insurance, right?
Yeah.
Let's hope your guide bought the insurance.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Well, actually, his company provided him, so I hope they had insurance.
Right.
I was thinking life insurance.
They have,
Well,
excellent life
it
insurance
wasn't a
opportunities.
hazardous occupation. I would imagine he's in the
So
high expensive insurance category.
So meanwhile, back in town, so Sarda, the rescue team that is in here is asking what you know about the situation. What are you telling them?
I'm just gonna say some guy came in with a bomb, and I've been helping put people's guts back in and applying pressure.
Okay. The outside, the cops are, of course, a lot more belligerent, and are asking, well, first of all, they want to see George and Bocephus's IDs. They want to know what it is that you're doing, what has happened. What are you guys telling them?
Well, I'm going to give them a complete rundown describing how one of these activists ran into the bar with a suicide vest, and how one of them they started to open fire with shotguns, and I fired back after they hit me. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, lawyer.
And I want a lawyer. Bocephus, what are you telling him?
Can he squeak and
I'm gonna tell him the
focus?
truth. I'm gonna, kind of point to my medic bag and stuff, and be like, man, we were on our way to have a drink when the guy blew himself up in the bar. I went up in there and I provided aid to a couple people I found, and then I heard gunfire. I provided aid to my friend, so he wouldn't, be injured. And then I tried to return fire. I missed, because I'm a doctor, not a soldier, Jim.
So the both George and Bocephus, you can make your choice, either admin plus intellect, or you can make a persuasion plus your social modifier.
Well, shit, that's definitely good because I took admin 0.
Yeah.
Can I use charm? Yeah, can I use charm instead of social?
Sure.
Awesome. So.
Yeah, because my socials is 6. My charm's not much better. With +2, that's going to be a 9.
Nice. So, Sarda, you don't have to really make the roll because when they come in, it's obvious what you're doing. And
I'm covered in blood.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've got blood all over you, and it's clear that you are trying to assist. And so the SAR team is perfectly fine. They thank you for your assistance, kind of thing.
I am clearly wearing my deep space, officers,
Right? Yeah,
So,
yeah. You guys.
I am obviously with those guys, so
Right.
that may make a difference.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's clear that you are together, but you don't have to make a check because it's clear that you're in there helping. Wasn't real obvious what George and Josephus were doing out here, but both. So you guys give your stories to the cops, and they seem to believe you. But, of course, they're going to want all three of you to come down to the station and fill out some paperwork, make some statements. They want to interview you each individually, blah, blah, blah. But the cop that's interviewing you that is talking to both of you tells you that from what he can see, this is a clear case of self-defense. Not only that, but it looks like you attempted to render aid in a terrorist-type situation, and so that, he doesn't foresee that there's going to be any problems.
I just say you can take my guns right there. Take good care of them.
Yeah, they disarm you guys. Obviously, they take your weaponry, and the one cop is looking at George and his jacket with all the holes in it now, and the obvious medic patches, and he flashes a light in George's eyes. And he says, "Sir, are you on anything?"
I'm going to simply say yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. I'm feeling pretty hyped right now. My medic over there for our ship quickly patched me up and injected me with some stuff that would make me feel a lot better because somebody hit me with a shotgun. This is why I fired back.
So the cop then says he kind of looks you over and asks if you need any further medical assistance.
I'll tell him yes. I need to give him another shot.
Yeah. And I'm gonna explain. He says, "Look, I understand. I'm a cop too. I used to be a cop. I get it. You're just doing your jobs."
So
his adrenaline is going to wear off,
and because my adrenaline's so high, I'm going to look at him and says, "Look, man, we were going for lunch. I'm still really hungry."
my temperature's about 10 degrees high.
Brownie.
Yes.
I will.
It's going to be even better.
I want to try to stick him with a stim, so that way that'll counteract the fatigue that's going to hit him. If I could just give him a quick shot.
Go ahead and make
some antibiotics.
Make a persuasion plus charm check.
Oh, cool! I just did that, so it's already loaded up.
8.
Yeah.
Hey,
He says the cop says he's your patient, doctor. Go ahead and do what you need to do.
Well, hell yeah. And I'll go, do you know you can take mushrooms and see the universe for free? and then I'll go up to George and I will get him with a stem there.
I'm going to ask Bohefus if he brought a sandwich too, because I'm starving.
I probably
not for long. He's hooking up with a bunch of crank right now.
Yes, yeah. Now your pulse is going to be high,
George. I'm bringing.
Yeah,
Jack and I are bringing 15 steaks. Is that enough?
Yeah. Now you ignore 2 damage because of the combat drug, but the stem would give you 1 damage to your endurance. But at least this way you won't take. I think they'll negate each other, but that's really the DM's call.
Yeah.
But at least this way, it would negate your fatigue that's about to kick in. So while you're going through the interviews and shit, you're not gonna have to deal with -2 on every fucking thing you try to do.
Yes.
So
I'm good. Thank you.
yeah.
Yes. But
I'm Dr. Bocephus.
that's a really good question. So let me read this again.
What
You
kind
know,
of sounds? What kind of sounds does a salient dolphin make?
Fighting the come down of combat meds with crank doesn't seem like it would even out.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad idea. So George, make an athletics endurance check or just a straight endurance check.
This YouTube video is getting completely demonetized.
We know too much about drugs.
Well, there's also the necrophilia part of it.
Well, you know.
Well, we didn't
What's my
actually
choice,
do it.
Chris?
But when you say it, they now do a log automatically, and so it's all your text gets put in a log.
That's okay. I've been on a list somewhere for a long time.
It's why a lot of the YouTube reactors are now like having to be very creative in how they say certain words.
I missed my choices. Athletics or what?
So athletics endurance, and if you don't have athletics endurance, you can just roll straight endurance modifier.
Okay, I'm just gonna go straight endurance then.
Okay.
7?
Well, so you are. That's not actually that bad, but you are having a bit of a reaction as these two drugs start to course through your body at the same time. Of course, one is on its way out, and the other one's on its way in.
And I still don't have a sandwich.
And you still don't have a sandwich. Your pupils are as big around as dinner plates, and now George has broken out into a cold sweat and turned quite pale. And the cop is rather concerned. He says, "Doctor, should he look like that?"
Well, I will make sure. I'll try to, take the Medikit and, I'll try to give him a little comfort, to even him out. Like if his blood pressure is a little high, I'll medicate it down just a little bit. Try to, do a quick little.
No, give him an injection of Losartan so that his blood pressure comes down.
Well, the answer
Just reassure him that all humans kind of look the same.
Yeah, like all you humans, it doesn't really matter if you're, came from the European or the African. You're all built in the same fucking place, and just kind of, hit him with a little medical stuff from the med kit to try to, even him out a little bit, stabilize him till the combat drug can go ahead and phase out.
So they pile you guys into a air car or into our air raft, and they take you to the starport where the actual police headquarters is. And the downport here is quite extensive. I mean, it is a Class A starport, but for Corella, it's weird because this usually you have the starport and then the town around the starport is the star town. There's no differentiation when you leave the starport and go into the star town. It's all one thing. And so this is kind of the capital of Corella. And you have to remember that 2/3 of the planet is designated as non-urban expansion and essentially a wildlife refuge. And so this is pretty much it for urban centers on Corella. But you guys are in the police station as Jack and Randolph make your way back into town some 3 hours later. As you guys are pulling into town, you can still see that there is smoke coming up from this building. There are firefighters and rescue personnel all around the Star Town.
I'll pick up some alcohol since we didn't get to drink.
Well, I mean, whatever survived the bombing was available for the grabbing. So, I don't think anybody's going to say anything. It was for medicinal purposes. That's what I tell my wife when I need a new bottle of whiskey. It's for medicinal purposes.
I figured I'd buy it at the Starport. It's
Yeah,
easier.
You could do that too. It's probably better quality. I mean, this is clone booze, so they probably get bottom shelf. But so yeah, you guys are brought back into the police station. You're all separated. You're all questioned, but in the end, all of your stories are pretty much overall they gel, and plus the ambassador from the Imperial Embassy is called down to the station, as well as the first officer of Deepnight Revelation, and they vouch for you and kind of get you out of questioning, and you sign over your statements, and as you're coming out of the police station, you can see that that they're pulling in out of holding. They're pulling in these two other activists that are clearly not going to be as lucky as you are as far as getting out of jail tonight. And it is confirmed that the other two that you shot are dead. And but the prosecuting attorney's office has decided they are not going to press any charges against you. They feel that thanks to the ambassador and the first officer of Deepnight Revelation, there's really very few additional questions. They basically rubber stamp it as clear case of self-defense and rendering aid in the middle of a terrorist attack. They are stopping short of saying that your efforts were heroic, but at least thanks to the XO and the ambassador, you are expedited. So Jack and Randolph, you come in and you see that there's smoke coming up from the middle of the Star Town, and there are emergency vehicles all over the place. What are you guys doing?
I think we should try and land at the company that we rented that was paid to provide this service to us.
Yeah,
and return their equipment and the body of their employee.
That's not a bad plan. So go ahead and make a flyer grav plus dex check.
$12.
Wow. Nice. Okay. So Randolph.
I was really lucky.
Randolph pulls it in, makes it look like he should start giving classes on parking, and he sets bootleg. It down.
little bootleg at the end.
Yeah, just kind of swings it in and sets it down, and you guys unload the body and the
meat.
And don't get those two mixed up.
Still have.
If you get those two mixed up, you might end up with a very interesting stew. Is this pork? And so
it's wild animal.
the people in the office, they're heartsick over losing one of their guides, but the owner of this outfitting company, he does tell you, he says, going out on a wildlife safari is not the safest of professions. This thing does sometimes happen. And he says, don't worry, all of our guides have excellent benefits and insurance. His family will be taken care of. I mean, I don't know if you guys care about that, but he reassures you that this is something that sometimes can happen, and
back in a bucket.
He offers to sell you the dead hooker back
because he was ground to hamburger.
Yeah, it came back in a Ziploc bag. So,
I mean, the larker stopped and did this, and
he kind of spun out on him. Yeah.
I want to give an update of all the shit that we've learned to the Imperial Consulate before we leave.
Okay. So, what information are you updating them on?
Well, about how we've we uncovered that monument and the story and the vibes that we kind of got off of all that.
Oh yeah, you already did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
You have that set up, and like they told you, they said they don't. They send out. They sometimes are able to get a courier ship because you guys are way out, and so they can sometimes get a courier ship to go back to the Imperium or back. The closest probably would be Depressed Naval Base. They can get over there, roughly maybe one ship every 6-7 months. Roughly,
Yeah.
They try to do 2 couriers a year, but it really depends. And so they are holding on to your report until a courier goes out, but that will be sent.
Okay, then that's cool. And then are we wanting to give these guys a warning about the fungus that's about to be?
So that is up to you guys. So Jack and Randolph, you take care of business at the outfitters. You've got your gazelle steaks. You weren't able to bag a larker, but you got a couple of gazelles. And
we need to tell them there's a wounded larker running around.
Yeah,
He's not really wounded though. I mean, y'all didn't hit it very hard at all.
I hit it for 15 points.
yeah.
I mean, out of 100, there's not a lot, but he's still injured.
You irritated it. It's like winging a moose.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way. You get back to the starport and kind of meet up with Bocephus, Sarda, and George. At the embassy, and you guys relate your 2 tales about how your vacation went. George, I think, found shotguns very relaxing. It was almost a massaging kind of thing. George looks terrible. At this point now, George is not only George not only is constantly in a cold sweat. His pupils have now gone back down to like a normal size, but his eyes are bloodshot. He's pale. He's constantly in a cold sweat, and now he's shaking.
I still don't have a sandwich.
And he still does. Well, no, the cops were nice enough to get you a sandwich.
Steak? You want me to have the gel steak sit down to the chef and have him get it ready for you?
Jesus, just cook me something. I'm starving.
They got you an Everfresh sandwich out of the vending machine.
What about one of Randolph's steaks? I keep hearing about these steaks. I don't see steak.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You
you've got.
can eat it raw if you'd like. I guarantee I can patch up whatever happens.
You've done such a great job. Better living through pharmaceuticals.
Well, hey, I got him combat ready, and then I made it so he didn't have to fucking pass out. I thought that was relatively successful.
It was good.
Yeah. So that was how I went with
Yeah,
it. I mean, if he's bloodshot a little bit, and he might have a slight addiction.
Yeah,
we can address that during counseling. And
Yeah,
that gives
at
us
this
something
point,
to
George,
talk
you kind of
about.
feel like
Oh,
there's ants
definitely.
crawling under your skin. You're shaky. You don't know if you want to take a nap or get up and maybe run around the building a couple times. You're just, all kinds of Twitter-pated here.
But he's still hungry.
But you are hungry, yeah.
He has some alcohol that'll help with that.
Yes, that'll calm you right down.
Sure.
Hallucinogenic alcohol
when
that he's been making.
When my buddy and I...
We have,
My buddy and I used to go to a big gaming LAN called PDX LAN here in the Portland area, and they would have basically as much Monster energy drink or Balls Guarana as you wanted to drink. If the cooler was full, you grab it. And so, I think my record was like 13 in like a 6-hour period. I did not feel well, but we used to, we'd drink 3 or 4 of these things, and then along about 5 o'clock in the evening, we'd be like, okay, let's go over to the bar. We need to get a drink so that we can cut through the caffeine, take some of the edge off. But
Yeah. Or maybe he's got a little coffee jitters, and maybe he looks a little pale, but when he'll come down over the next 20 hours or so, and then he'll be able to sleep it off. It'll be fine.
I'm sure Bosie was like, "Here, you want me to give you something to help you sleep?"
Here's some brownies.
So I've got this spider yay juice. So knock it out.
Jesus, I do any of this. If I listen to you guys is crap, I'm going to be on the ship every Wednesday night going, "Hi, my name is George."
Right. There's going to be a 12-step meeting in the passenger
I'm
lounge.
I'm getting these floating vats, and so my idea is I'm just going to kind of clone you and then do a brain transplant. And there you go.
He's got some scorpion venom that'll help you sleep.
So you guys.
He's even got a factory to make it.
So you guys do get George back to the ship, and as soon as I find the ship,
and I hand George a raw steak.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can sit down and oh, this is the wrong map.
Just throw it on the grav plate. It'll heat up.
So he can eat it raw, or he can cook it, or he can have somebody cook it. Whatever
he
he
tried
wants.
to eat it raw, but he can't unclench his teeth at the moment. So.
You're gonna need to put it in a blender.
You need to put it in a blender and make a milkshake out of it.
Yes. So yeah, you guys get back to the ship, and yeah, I mean, if Sarda, you took some skills. The ship has cooks and whatnot, but Sarda, if you give a shit about it, you took skills in steward, so you could go ahead and make a steward plus intellect check.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you got to cook that shit.
That would be a 2d6 plus 0.
Oh well.
Well, I don't have a positive for int, and I only have a 0 in steward, so it's an 8.
Hey.
It's edible.
So yeah, and I mean it's
Steak's not hard.
Yeah, it is a. I mean, I don't know what this. It's gazelle, so I mean, it'd be like a cross between goat and deer, I guess.
Yeah.
But
It's probably really stringy.
yeah, it's probably quite gamey.
You can want to braise the hell out of that.
But yeah, you guys are up here in the central pod, which is your mission pods, and yeah, you guys get back in, and George gets his steak, and then pretty much after getting some food in him, goes to his quarters and sleeps for like the next day.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So the captain of Deepnight wants your guys' report. He leaves. If George needs to rest, he leaves him out of it. But George can give him a written statement later. But he wants he wants to hear your side of things. The XO has told him what the police department has said. And of course, there is the report of the death of the hunting guide, and he's like, he says, for some reason, whenever we get shore leave lately, it seems to be a lot more eventful than what I would prefer.
Well, if the bystanders wouldn't have suicide vests, we'd be doing a lot better.
That is a good point. Yes. So yeah, basically, he calls you, up to the bridge, and he doesn't dress you down. It was not like any of this from all the reports that he's seen. None of this was your fault, and but he makes the point, and I to further exemplify that this isn't a dressing down is that he pours each of you a drink as you're sitting in his ready room, and pours one for himself, and he gets your input, and he, looking over the reports, he says, well, it looks like that Corella, and perhaps the entire Corellan League, but that he says I don't want to go that far because there's a lot of worlds in the league, and that would be unfair to them. But it looks like they have a prejudiced issue going on with their whole reliance on clones. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, slavery.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
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 So
I don't know why they would act in such a way. Really, it's just
They're taking all our gerbs.
they're taking all our gerbs. Germagerd.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that I did try to save a clone just the same as I tried to get anybody else.
Right, and
so at least this ship was represented on an all equal basis.
well, he, in addition to the report that you guys, and he doesn't know about the report that you guys sent back. You didn't. I don't think that you ever really put it up through the chain of command. You guys just went to the embassy and filed a report, which is, of course, being command of mission division. That's your prerogative. But he lets you know he intends to take your reports along with the police report and file his own report with the embassy to send back to Imperial Command 2. He really feels that this is a political situation that maybe the embassy should, I don't know, maybe gently dip their toe in and try to push things. He's very against slavery.
Like threaten yellow zone status at least.
Right. Well, that could be a possibility too.
Hasn't TSA done that?
They have not.
That's true. That's true. TSA is the one that declares that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
according to the TSA, this place is great.
Did the cloning vat get delivered just fine and everything?
That it did, and
it's just wonderful. That's why I wanted to come here in the first place, was to get the cloning technology.
All because I rolled that 11.
Yeah.
So this is the cloning. They got you one cloning vat.
Man, one is enough. That's
better than nothing.
Oh hell, that's a lot better than nothing. Nothing. I can recreate these things if I really wanted to take my time and done some money into it. I mean, we've got the fabrication chambers.
That's where you need the second one for taking apart.
Yeah, but I'm just going to use the shit out of it. That's what I'm going to do. That's what a doctor would do.
So
you're
going to make body parts for all of us.
You get your cloning vat down in your personal med bay, and the Deepnight techs are from engineering are in the process of setting it up and hooking it up for you. And I mean, between that and the number of auto docks, your med bay is starting to get a little crowded. But so pretty much he doesn't. The captain doesn't take your guys' experience and decide. He does not decide that he's going to revoke everybody's shore leave, and essentially everybody else comes back to the ship, and nobody else had a problem. Except for you guys, yeah. They noted, of course, that they saw similar things that you saw. That everybody's complaining that they don't think clones were treated properly, etc. But they didn't have like a terrorist action, and nobody else went hunting. They went on a hike and things of that nature. So somebody broke an arm. That was about as bad as it got. But the ship then continues on its way, leaving Corella. And I need to find that map.
Yeah, the Corellian League's pretty big, right? I mean, that's
this
is the capital of that.
Yeah, Corella is the capital of the Corellan League. In Corellan League, Yeah, it is pretty much the biggest polity in the Beyond sector, and it actually even stretches into the Vanguard reaches right up along the edge of the Esliot Magistry, which, you know, that's a whole other can of worms. But they do have some of the stuff that you've seen in the news is that there are fleet buildup along the Elesiot border, or Esliot border, and that they're really nervous about the Esliots. But, you know, that's their problem. So there's 1, 2. So about 3 weeks in travel. Very very underwhelming in your travel. But you do come and you are to the Besulla system.
May I get my rolls to progress and finish out my side drug
Sure.
Yeah.
Good.
over those 3 weeks, please?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a chemistry or science chemistry plus intellect or education check.
And I'm going to take my time.
Okay.
So, $13.
Okay. So, yeah, you are able to produce successfully a side drug.
That is wonderful. I will begin manufacturing of the side drug.
In fact, you are able to produce 6 doses of it.
That is a beautiful thing. I will note on my thing that I now have the technology to produce side drug shit, and I have 6 doses. That is a
And
wonderful
who
thing.
is this for? Who are you going to give it to?
Oh, there's only 2 people that'll give use to it too, but it has very beneficial effects.
Yeah,
especially
it'll
if it lets-
replenish his psi points.
or give me massive
Or
bonuses
boost them,
to-
yeah.
Yeah, to be able to do more spectacular shit. So,
Super Bophesis.
or Sarda.
So,
In the meantime, I have the various scanning crews, sensor crews, doing simulations,
okay. So
competing against each other.
you get into this. So for the most part, the sensor crews and the scientific teams. I mean, a lot of the stuff on Deepnight Revelation is fairly automated. And the only time that they come and grab somebody is if it comes back and it reads some kind of anomaly. And then they will alert a higher up. And they come back, and so this is the Besulla system. Up here you can see it's just got an M65 primary, and Besulla itself is 0.2 AU. The sensor scan as you come out of jump is reading something peculiar about Besulla. Now, Besulla is not... Other ships have come through here. Nobody else has really noticed anything about this system or about this planet. You guys have additional information, though. And they call in... is it Sarda that's the sensors expert?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Sensors and engineering jump drive are my 2 things.
So, Sarda, go ahead and make an electronic sensors plus intellect or education check.
Sure. Of course, I close my character sheet because I'm an idiot.
I do that with my calculator. Oh, I added those numbers close. Why did I do that?
Yeah, or I'll minimize it and can't find it.
Right,
It
yes.
disappears into the...
Yeah, I run into that a lot, too, with 2 monitors. I'm like, which screen was that on?
As a game master, I do it all the time.
Right.
I've got so many things open usually, and so I'm minimizing things, and then I can't find them. Wow, I rolled really poorly. I got an 8. but I mean, I rolled a 3 to get that.
Well, an 8 is enough. So you look at these sensor scans, and what you are picking up is that, so Besulla, this is, of course, Besulla, and at 0.2 AU, it is quite the baked planet. You detect two things. One, the first thing is that you pick up you pick up the trace amounts of biological signatures. So
Okay.
it looks like Besulla was not always a barren rock ball. The second thing that you pick up is that the most of the surface of the planet looks like, or looks very similar to, like the land that was around the memorial.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
It's like somebody's turned it to
Yeah.
concrete.
We need to look at this area very, very deep.
And the third thing that you're detecting is that it looks like at one point Besulla may have actually been a moon of the first gas giant. Here at the very top, it looks like it may have been a moon, and that something pushed it out of the gas giant's orbit and pushed it closer to the primary.
Wow. Okay, so somebody's been doing some housekeeping here in the system.
Yeah, I mean,
Look
We
at all
need-
those craters.
we need to
Man.
go. Yeah, we need to go look at it and see if we can find more monuments or information, artifacts.
What was the
Uh,
metal? What was the metal that monument was made out of? Can we
It was
scan-
actually made out of the landscape around it. So the only thing that your scientists on Deep Night can come up with is that whatever was used to it seems like very similar technology to like a fusion torch, but when they look at like the monument itself and even some of the buildings that were on Alpha, they have determined that whatever was used was able to not only fuse the ground but reshape it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's hopefully we're being told to go investigate this. Right?
That yeah, they're going to be on a 3-day refueling operation at the gas giant. So if you want to hop down, you certainly can.
Why don't we take a couple of scientists with us that might be interested in able to help out?
Have a
That's an-
geologist.
you do.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe so. Bring a geologist and maybe a historian or I don't know, xenobiologist.
Or a planetologist.
And if we have the space, can we bring 2 laborers?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you could certainly do that.
Yeah, that maybe have minor driving skills or some shit like that. But we're just wanting them to maintain our toys when we leave, so we're not just abandoning our shit.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you could bring a couple of, basically ensigns with you, and
Yeah,
And-
we just need we could use some spaceman basics
Hmm.
yeah,
and give them a shovel.
Is it the entire planet that seems to be this way, or is it just a certain?
the whole
Looks like the belt.
the whole
Where's the whole-
planet.
Okay,
Wow.
All right, because the other one was just a region; it wasn't the whole planet.
Yeah, it was the around the monument, and even on Alpha, you're talking about maybe like a 5-kilometer radius, or I'm sorry, a 5-kilometer diameter around that area. This is the whole planet.
Yeah, that's bad news.
Well, yeah, but hopefully there's another.
Fungus among us.
Well, at one
Somebody
time there
got rid of
was.
fungus among us.
Yeah, but that means that there's probably some sort of warning or something maybe they had around, something that has that same psionic vibe to it, where we can maybe get more information.
So when I
Yeah.
say that you detected biological traces. I mean, that could mean anything. Carbon will show up as a biological trace. I mean, but that could just be coal, and so you don't know, or rock. But yeah, you guys can certainly make your trip down. Jack, go ahead and make a piloting spacecraft plus dex check. Nice. So Jack makes it look pretty easy, and there's, other than the proximity to the star at 0.2 AU, I mean, it's pretty warm out there. Jack is able, but there is like some shear from solar winds at this proximity, but Jack is able to bring you guys in and set you down in a location near where you would have detected where these biological traces may have come from. What is going on with my camera? That is ugly.
And what's the environment outside like?
Hot.
Does it have an atmosphere?
I don't believe it does, but let's go ahead and look, because now I'm curious. Shit, I'm starting to sound like Tom Segura. We've been watching too much of his specials on TV. World and universe creation. So we want, what is the hydrographic? Well, what's atmosphere? It's 3N. 3 atmosphere is 0. None. There is no atmosphere. I even double checked just to make sure that that's what it makes, because it doesn't always mean that. Hydrographics is 4. It has no water.
We got to be vac suited up or in a contained ship.
So there are a couple of mining, like, I wouldn't even call them settlements. There are some like Seeker class mining ships that have landed and set up shop and are trying to mine on the planet, but nothing of any worth, nothing noteworthy. But yeah, this planet is dead. The mining group is over here on this little spot here.
Okay.
They have a class D starport. In other words, I mean, I'm surprised they even classified it as D. It's just a smoothed out area. That's it. But you guys are hazardous environment suit, laser rifle, and cutlass with a concealed dagger. All right. So yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know that you need.
I like Jack.
Yeah, I don't know that you need to go that far, but I mean, there's no reason not to wear a hazardous environment suit if that's what you want to wear.
Hell, I'm going to wear a boarding vac suit. Improved.
Yeah.
That works too.
What's up with this noble estate right here?
I think that they're full of shit on that. There ain't no noble estate on. Really, a really rich miner. They found a score and they built a little house, and that's it.
Okay.
They built a little dome.
Yeah, I don't believe them that there's a noble estate.
And the only thing that triggers us to any kind of signs of anything we might particularly looking for is these biological reading signs, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to be in a vac suit, but I'll bring my extended shield and strap it on outside of my vac suit.
Okay. What about Sarda and George? What are you guys? How are you gearing up?
Definitely in a vac suit, protection wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Vac suit, stunner, and I need to figure out what I'm gonna slot. I don't know what I'm gonna slot.
So Are you having your 2 scientists come with you as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about your 2 ensigns?
They need to be caring for the ship.
Okay.
I mean,
And,
really, I mean, if we need them, I mean, we should be able to contact them via our radio.
So
or
the 2
whatever.
ensigns they've got pilot smallcraft 1, so that would give them pilot spacecraft 0.
Yeah.
And they've got like mechanic 1.
I'm
Okay.
bringing my flame rifle and my laser pistol.
Does a flame rifle work on a 0?
Ooh, that's a really good question. You know, I would say no.
I wouldn't think
If it did, it would have a very, very short range.
I don't think, you know what, because of the condition of the planet itself, I don't see any fungus growing on this planet.
Right, but I mean, I say if there's no atmosphere, it's probably flame rifle's probably not going to work
Right.
too well.
It could also
Then
be
I'll bring my Gauss rifle.
It
Gauss
could
rifle.
also be a subterranean culture here. We need to investigate.
That's true. That is true.
Well, that's probably what this noble estate is. You know, like I said, some miner dug in and set himself up, but there is no nobility on this planet.
Okay.
I wouldn't even really call this a starport. It's, you know, a collection of a couple of mining ships and, you know, a smoothed out pad.
But yeah, I'm really more. We need to find out if there's any of these sites that have star maps that we need to be checking out. I mean, we kind of got led here by one.
Right, yeah,
So-
and this is so as far as Bocephus and Sarda are concerned, this is where the map on the monument is pointing to, as far as you can tell. And from Bocephus's dreams, this is where they were going, or at least
Okay.
one of the stops on their way. And so whoever wants to make a, well, let's see, what kind of handheld sensors are you guys using?
I mean, I've got meta scanners. And
I've got
shit, but I don't
I
have-
got a hand scanner.
Okay.
Geiger
With,
counter.
So your Geiger counter is, of course, go ahead and make an electronic sensors plus intellect or education.
Sure. $13.
So the Geiger counter is reading, obviously, it's reading higher than usual, higher than what you would normally see, you guys would normally see for radiation. And of course, the reason for that being the proximity of the star. It is not reading any additional sources of radiation that would be from an outside source. But Randolph, you can make your hand scanner check.
Let's see if I got what I got about the hand scanner.
So what kind
Hand
of stuff?
scanner says the essential sensor scanner function in a single handheld device. Appropriate settings provide local data based on perception, life, and activity director, field sensor for magnetic and EM, and densitometer.
Oh, densitometer. Okay. Go ahead and make a sensors, electronic sensors plus intellect or education.
Five. I
So-
did poorly.
Yeah, you're not picking up a whole lot. What with your 5, what you do pick up is, so when you step off your ship, this landscape that you're looking at, you can see a ton of these crater impacts. This planet is no stranger to meteor storms. But what you are picking up and what you are seeing is that you are standing on nearly a glass-like surface. Like this entire world has been hit by this by a fusion torch, and aside, you're detecting that the densitometer is reading that the thickness of this is probably at least 1 kilometer deep.
Holy moly!
The
Somebody was serious.
the two scientists, let's see what they got. Meh. I mean, it's successful, but
What are you using to scan this? It's a hand scanner of some sort.
Yeah.
How about this?
I don't know.
it's a Swiss Army scanner.
What would you?
That was an option.
How would you feel about me giving Sarda a side drug that'll give you a +2 to your psionic abilities?
I'd rather them hand me the scanner. I've got a +5 with scanners.
Well, if you could use your clairvoyance, maybe it would point us to the direction of.
You have to pick exactly where you're looking with clairvoyance. You pick.
It just says of a situation.
Yeah, that's the one. Situation in the immediate. Yeah, there's one for the immediate surroundings. Yeah. But if they hand me the hand scanner, I could take a look at that.
The hand scanner.
I didn't buy one because I didn't see it in the catalog.
Yeah, it's not in the catalog. It was a special item that
It's
Randolph.
in the card deck.
Yeah, Randolph had brought that idea to me, and I said, "Yeah, sure, you could probably find one of those." And this was way back
Gotcha.
when you were still in the Imperium. And it's like I said, it's like a Swiss Army scanner. It's got a densitometer, a limited bioscanner.
Hand it to Sarda.
You could.
Here you go, Sarda. You try. You're better than me.
So that'd be a 14.
Okay, so yeah, you and the two scientists, you go about kind of following your sensors. The two scientists are using bioscanners, and you find where this biological matter is supposed to be, and after after about 3 hours. So your O2 tanks are getting to the midway point. The scientists believe they have found what the scanners are detecting, and it is a fused piece of what looks like charcoal. So the guess is that Besulla, at one point in the distant past, very distant past, and when I say charcoal, I mean like fossilized charcoal. At one point in the very distant past, this world had plant life, and now it's literally nothing. But
that implies a lot.
But with
like
your
atmosphere,
with your
photosynthesis.
With your 14 using the hand scanner, you get a ton of data. And so part of the data tells you, it confirms that this world at one point had life. The entire planet is now completely barren. Your hand scanner is also detecting trace amounts of various ores, but it's not even really that great for mining unless you're willing to dig really deep. And you would have to have a specialized mining ship, which is what the miners are using. The other thing that it picks up is that the surface, and like you already knew this, but the surface of the world has been melted. And when it was melted, it immediately vaporized the entire atmosphere of the planet. And
that would really be bad, melting the down to 1 kilometer deep.
Right, and of course, any air and water would have been boiled away. But you are picking up in the silica that is making this glass-like surface. In that silica, you are detecting you're detecting small trace amount gas pockets. So you could tell that at one point this world had a it's not necessarily an Earth-like atmosphere, but it had a thin atmosphere.
Right.
But not so much anymore. There is some volcanic activity on the world. But the top layer crust is just completely featureless. The only thing that you can determine is that anything that was capable of doing this would have to have unimaginable and near limitless power, and it is way beyond tech level 15.
Right. Not to mention the fact that the planet wasn't originally here, right? Somebody had to.
Yeah,
move
somebody
it,
moved
so
it, or something moved it.
Something moved it and something sterilized it.
Yeah, so I mean, those are both pretty high tech.
You know, I just they didn't sign their work is the problem.
Well, I'll bet you there is. I'll bet if we found it, there is another one of those. Like say the last place we had the little guy there was a statue right.
There's a memorial.
I'll bet you there is a memorial this time too. We just need to find it.
So there has been no evidence of that. So before, when you found the memorial, there you were able to find, evidence of basically a technical anomaly on the world. You're not seeing any of that this time.
Okay. All right. Well, it might be orbiting, but yeah. All right. Well, this is pretty funky.
Well. All I know left to do is to try to go the psionic route to try to find where the star map information dump type thing is.
I will allow you to. Well, let's see what would apply is kind of the question.
See, that's what I'm looking through. I'm thinking, maybe read surface thoughts, just put out in a broad. Space, not really trying to hit a specific item, but looking for some thoughts that are just out there floating around. That could do it. Or under the clairvoyance.
Yeah, the clairvoyance might
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say clairvoyance sense. Go ahead and try making a sense.
Can I give him a side drug that'll give him a +2 to his sonic abilities
if that's what he would like to do, yeah.
Sure, let's dose it up.
We're all doing drugs now.
Yeah, like I said, we're all going to be in the same meeting on Wednesday going, hi, my name was...
It's not really a psionic drug. He just gives you mushrooms and it makes you think you're psionic.
Well, it's a good thing you did because I got an 8. So that, I think the difficulty was lower than 8 to begin with. But
sense is only a routine 6+. So using sense, you are able to pick up a psionic signature, and it doesn't really point you in a direction, but it is kind of like a psionic waypoint that is confirming that this is the world that this droid ship went to, and the psionic message that you are receiving, and it's not so much even in any kind of language. It's just a
feeling.
It's not even a feeling. You just know that they sterilized this world. It was infected. They sterilized it, and then moved the world so that it was closer to the star to make sure that anything that was left over that they may have missed would also bake.
I got you, because it was in a zone that was hospitable to the and so they moved it to a zone that was non-hospitable.
Correct.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty
Um,
hardcore.
The other thing that
Can the
you
droids do that?
well
So
the
Or is this the
Oh.
ancients?
so that's the question. So
Yeah.
the other part of this psionic knowledge, and it's at the very, very, very edge, like at the tip of your fingertips, on the edge of your tongue, you are feeling that these are not the droid that you know. That these droid are, if they aren't the ancients themselves, they are agents of the ancients.
yeah, so this is like before the droid started diluting their culture and knowledge.
Well, this would be almost right before the Civil War.
Does Sartafel lead to any location around here? You know, if we move around a little bit, can he get a stronger ping or a weaker ping?
No, that's all that he gets. Other than that, they then continued on their journey.
Now, I don't advise that you take another one of these side drugs, Mr. Sarda, for quite some time. The reason being is if you take it too often, it can have an adverse effect, and it could actually hurt you or permanently hinder your ability to use psionic powers.
All right, well,
But taken within moderation, it can be a very useful tool that I've added to our tool belt.
And
And I will give you one that you can self-dose yourself with at any time. This is the standard one on page 94 of the Central Supply catalog.
awesome.
And as far as
You can also
he points to George about evidence of taking too many drugs as George tries to scratch himself through his vac suit.
well, you know,
That
well, you know, I can get
My
you
finger
some
won't go in.
It's just appointment. So I'm going to remove
Give you some
two-
nano robots to get itch yourself that you just put inside your vac suit
Yes.
when you itch.
I'm going to remove 2 of the side drug doses from my character sheet because I gave Sarda 1 and I used 1 on Sarda. So
Okay.
there we go.
All right. So, yeah, that's all there is to find here. You guys get back to Deepnight, and basically at the end of 3 days, they continue on their journey. And we will pick this up next week with you going through... Well, that's not...
Wherever we stop along that green line.
There we go. Yeah, the nothing happens as you journey through the Kajani space. It's a fairly uneventful run, but we will pick up next week with you guys traveling towards the Altarian Confederation and picking up a distress signal.
Uh-oh.
Well, at least we know that we're on the same route that the droid were on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good sign.
Well, or a really bad one.
Yeah, or a really bad one. I mean,
Depends how you think.
Six
think
one way,
about
half
what
dozen the other.
Focus Among Us is.
You got to think about this. They were able to move planets and burn them down to a kilometer deep, and they still failed on their mission.
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the problem still exists, so evidently they weren't successful. That's something to keep in mind.
Yeah,
and
but
they
the-
clearly are far more technologically advanced than we are.
well, yeah, that's why it's important we follow them so that
Yeah,
way
we can learn anything we can get from them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But anyway, I had a lot of fun. We got a lot done.
Yeah,
I'll,
you did. All right.
I'll see you tomorrow, Chris,
I will-
and
yep.
the rest of you, I'll see you another time.
I will see you
bet you
tomorrow.
said.
I'll see the rest of you next week.
All right,
Okay.
take care.
Have fun
All
in your
right,
OSC game tomorrow. I'm gonna have fun in mine.
Yes, should be good. I also have my my annual Memorial Day birthday in-person game, so I'm gonna have 10 players on Sunday. So
Oh,
doing
Jesus.
OSC as well. So yeah.
Oh, good lord. All right.
Yes.
Good luck with that.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
Okay, bye.